Hi, you guys, and welcome back to our special YouTube-only edition of What the Flick. Because Jonathan, Kim, and I are so pumped about Piranha 3D, we had to bring it to you.
We just have to talk about it.
We couldn't sit there and let it languish. We had to come talk to you about it. So, Jonathan, please take it away.
Well, what is Piranha 3D about? There's seismic activity that opens up an undersea cavern where prehistoric piranhas come flooding out into this Lake Havasu type lake during spring break with lots of people in bikinis and bathing suits around. It is a movie that is exactly what you think it will be, but with more boobs and Christopher Lloyd. So let's take a look at that trailer.
Quake opened that up. Now it's a connecting passage.
Descending fissure.
Oh my God. It's at least 200 feet, Novak. Sam?
Something bit me!
Sam, what are you seeing down there?
Oh my God.
Sam!
I'm thinking about closing the lake.
There's us, and there's 20,000 kids. You do the math.
Take it off!
The sheriff has declared an emergency.
Don't worry, we got Pete over here!
Piranha hunt in packs. The first bite draws blood. The blood draws the pack.
What more do you need to know? They're Piranha in 3D. Yeah, this is kind of awesome. And it's funny because Weinstein Company wasn't going to show it to critics initially. And then on Tuesday, they said, we're going to have something at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. And I went thinking, okay, what the hell, it'll be fun. Whatever happens, happens. And it's awesome. It's a complete blast. And I loved it. I laughed my ass off. And it does exactly what it's supposed to do, as you say. It knows what it is and it goes for it. We were talking about how it's not even really a horror movie. It's really more of a comedy because it's so funny. People get killed in crazy, creative, hilarious ways. Alexandra AJA directed it. He also did High Tension, and he did the Wes Craven approved remake of The Hills Have Eyes. And he really knows his gore, and he's just having a blast here. I love the cast. Elizabeth Shue plays the sheriff of this Lake Havasu type lake.
Badass, still looking great.
Badass Elizabeth Shue, mother of 3, has time to save the lake from the killer piranha. There's a very cute Richard Dreyfuss cameo off the top. Jerry O'Connell's in it as kind of a Joe Francis kind of sleazy character, so you know something horrible is going to happen to him. The second that Eli Roth shows up on camera, you know he's going to suffer some really hideous fate, and it's awesome. So I had a blast. I can't really say enough about it.
Yeah, for me, I got notified about the screening late, and I was like, against my better judgment, I felt compelled to see it, even though I actually don't watch horror movies. I don't really like horror movies that much. But yeah, this movie is a comedy. You're laughing all the time. But it's sort of like horror movie 101, but knows it, because all of the mean and sinful people and sexual and promiscuous people, they all get killed. The more innocent you are, those are the people who live. And you're talking about cameos. Christopher Lloyd shows up playing Doc Brown from Back to the Future, going all out, just that terrific delivery. And yeah, you just you laugh and enjoy it the whole time. And there's actually the scene, the sort of big carnage scene where the piranhas get into all the people who the big group of people in the water. And then there's a scene where people are being dragged out of the water and bleeding and in pieces and stuff. And I think they purposely wanted to make it like Saving Private Ryan. It's very dramatic. There's an orchestral score and everything, and just the suffering, the humanity, of it all. And
all they wanted to do were beer bongs. And this is what happens to them. It's very sad.
Exactly. That's what they get for dancing suggestively when Law and Order tells them you need to get out of the water for your own safety.
They never listen because they're hammered. If you're a young douchebag and you want to go get drunk and dance to house music at spring break, well, then you're going to get eaten by killer prehistoric fish.
Yes, there are consequences for that. And actually, I was wondering if this might be true, but you see a few times in the film, there's evangelical Christians on boats who are saying repent, sinners and stuff like that. I believe that they don't die. I don't think you ever see, maybe in all of the massive mayhem and carnage they did, but I can't remember them actually falling in the water and getting eaten.
Now, you see all the idiot frat boys getting eaten, and Jerry O'Connell, who gets eaten in a very special way. But the 3D here is something else I want to talk about because I'm so not a fan of 3D ordinarily. I think it's needless. This happens to have been a 2D conversion to 3D, which is usually pretty horrible as well. That's how Last Airbender turned out and Clash of the Titans, and they were both muddled and messy. But with this, the 3D is used exactly the way it should be. It's gimmicky, it's gratuitous. Like, if you're gonna do a full-on B-horror genre movie, go for it, have fun with it. So you have like some guy spraying beer from a keg and it hits you, or some girl does too many tequila shots and she yaks off the side of a boat and it comes out at you. Wet t-shirt contest. You have boobs, you have asses in your face, and this is exactly what it needs to do. Oh, and lots of girl-on-girl action.
Yes.
We have that. That's very important too.
There is a lot of boobs, asses in 3D, full female nudity, swimming underwater. But it's like the 3D in this, it's part of the joke.
Right.
Like when the 3D scenes happen, everyone laughs because it's like, so of course, because it's 3D, they have to have boobs shaking in your face like in 3D. And yeah, it's hard to explain sort of like how kind of fun it was to watch. Like I feel weird, recommending it, but I just had a really good time.
Don't be ashamed. But also, it's very knowing with the use of the 3D and the humor, but it never collapses into parody. Like, they all take it totally seriously. Like Elizabeth Shue, Adam Scott playing a very different character than he usually plays. He's like the scientific expert who's called in to help get rid of the fish. I mean, they're all going for it. It's very intense, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, and Adam Scott, he also has a lot of great lines like, Jesus Christ, what the hell? Oh my God. Like at the end, it's sort of, I think they kind of make a joke out of it because it's like, he just has interjections for like the last half of the movie. But there's also porn stars in it. Riley Steele is in it and Gianna Michaels. There could be more. Like I said, there are a lot of boobs in the movie.
Yeah.
And which was definitely like, I was like, oh man, this movie's going to be terrible. But then one of my friends like, yeah, but could be boobs in 3D. I was like, that is intriguing.
And that's exactly what you have, boobs in 3D. Okay, let's give our scores. Go ahead, you go first.
Well, I'm giving it an 8. It was, I mean, like I said, as someone who doesn't even like horror movies and would have never gone to see this unless I got to go to a free screening. But I just had so much fun and I laughed like crazy, and the 3D in its cheesiness works. So I give it an 8.
Awesome. I'm giving it a 9. My only little problem with it is because it is a 2D to 3D conversion, some of the underwater dark cave piranha scenes are a little bit muddled for my personal liking. So I'm giving it a 9. So 9 and 8. I can do this 8.5. Without even looking at the little sticky note in front of me, I knew it was 8.5. It's my SMU education at work. Anyway, thank you for watching our little extra special here. Thank you for talking about killer fish with me.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.